Okay, we got this dialed in at 4.21, pretty close. So we got a bar, piece of 3/4 bar in here. We got two thin angle piece of strap metal in there, or they're actually my vise parallels that go in there. So looks like that'll work pretty good. Put your tools away when you're done with them, especially valuable ones, so they don't get damaged. These are not cheap tools. There's nothing cheap when you buy tools, but these are definitely not cheap ones. Okay. So now we got what we need there. Now we need our parallels to put this in there now, which we just used up. So I went ahead and squared up the vise so it's within a thou all the way across. So we got to put this in there. We got to find something to shim it up. It's about that tall. We'll go back to our parallels over here. Find a set here, see if they're the ones we need. Okay. On the low side, but it's all right for what we need. So now when you tighten this down, that's now at the correct angle. All I gotta do now is figure out how much offset I need to have it up here to put a drill in the center where it goes. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it needs to be close. And of course, we're gonna need a drill bit to do that. So let's go ahead and grab a drill bit. Figure out what size drill bit we want to use. It's a 5/16 bolt, so that's 312. Doesn't really matter if it's a little loose, so you can either go with 330 or 320. Let's see what they used over here. Just a tighter one here. They're nice and loose, like I expected it to be. There you go. That's close to what they used. 20 thou clearance. It's nice and loose. All right, we're going to use this for our drill. That's it. I need to square up my plate here. The easiest way to do that is to go centerline dimension. Yeah. Go like this. That should be over the vise too. Yeah, close. All right. This thing's all cocked. So basically, all we do is go down like here. You can't see a damn thing with the way I got the camera set up right now. So just go down here, the pressure off. Go down to you basically almost touch. Pick it up, rotate 180. And see how close you are. We're way off. We got a big gap over here. So we're off by half that much. So there's about half that much. I should put on the edge of this so I know exactly where I'm at. Which will make things a lot easier for down the road. Just need something flat in here like this. Push until you hit the edge. Preferably something flat. Lock it down. There you go. So now I can take this in and out, and as long as they go back flush, we're fine. Okay, so now we're going to check our dimension again. Damn, I keep tightening the screw up too much. Okay, so I got about 1/8 of an inch there. Rotate around this way, come back down. See, we're way the hell off again. Close this thing up a bunch. Take up the slack. Okay. A bit closer now. Okay. So you go until you're on the dial. You rotate back and forth until you find a sweet spot. So our sweet spot right now is 1 under 0, which is pretty close because it only goes down to about 0, a little under 0 is all it goes to. Here's my 0. So you got to find the switch over point, which is right there. So it's half a thou down from 0. You can see how this wasn't straight cut. What a shocker. You go over here, and you can see how we didn't even touch over here. So now we turn on our edge finder. So we're at 0 now. So I rotate this in until we contact. Same number. Once again, find your 0 point. And that's pretty damn close. Okay, that's about the same number. So you go up here, we got 55 thousandths basically. So you put that in the middle of that, which should be 23, 25 is half, 50. So about 27.5, it's pretty close to where we were. Go ahead and zero that out. Come back over here, get this back on the dial again. Looks like we're about 2 thou under. That's where it wants to be right now. Rotate around. Two thou, but I hit pretty hard, so go back over there and check the other side and see if I moved it. Hit hard again, but it's digging in. Okay, we're within 1 thou. That's close enough for what we're doing. So now we're zeroed, we're centered up. So right in the middle of this bar. So I can go exactly plus and minus my dimension I need, and I'll put a hole on each side of the same number. So we were 4 1/4 inches, I think, between the bolt centers. Run these 2 holes here. So right here in the middle. Pretty close to 250. Just off a little bit. Put on 0 and 1. Yeah. Kind of not 200 either. More like about 225. It's kind of a weird size. Stupid Harley. Yeah, kind of in between 2 and 4 1/4 like it's supposed to be. Yeah, we got some kind of weird number. I think they'd use a standardized number. Alright, so we're just going to go right in the middle of 4. So if you look at these 2 lines right here, got that one on 1 under, 1 over. You go equal amount past. You go over here and you look at the same thing. See, we're not quite right there, so we're about 220, 225. So I'm going to call it 4,225 or so. 220 is more of an even number though for dividing by 2. So 4.220 would mean you put out 2 inches. That would be your 4 inches. Then we're 200. and 20, so that's another 100. Half of 200, and half of 20 is 10. So you can do each digit at a time, so you have to figure it out in your head too much. And it's right there. Now if we go 225, it'd be 12 and a half, so you go about 12 and a half. There you go. Now theoretically, put the hole right there in dead center, and you got it right on the money. Okay, but first I want to get the drill bit centered up by eyeball, because I want it to come through center at the bottom, not the top. So it'll be slightly offset at the top. Okay, so I'm going to figure that out right now. I'm going to use my center drill for the center. So. My center drill. Center drill. I need a drill chuck. Okay. So now let's figure out my center. Turning the machine on helps find that. Not to be perfect, just kind of eyeball it. So look at the point here, you want it between the two blocks. Pretty close, like I said, doesn't have to be perfect. Now we're way off center up here, so if you want to make it more equal on the top, you can cheat and go off center loosely a little bit. And kind of equalize the air between the two sides. So actually the center would be on center, but the other two would be off equally. It doesn't really matter because it's going to be pushing down on the plate, so it doesn't really matter how you do it. So I'd rather be a little bit closer on the bottom, I think. So we'll go with that. So we're going to zero this out there. Pull this back up. Go back to our two. About a 1/4 inch over. 2.112. 13, 12, 5, there you go. So that's 225. That's the deal we want. So right or wrong, it's going to go right there. And like I expected, this is some gummy ass aluminum, which means it's not very strong. It definitely needs some oil. Aluminum has that real dull look to it with gummy ass crap. So, exactly what we got here. Gummy ass crap. Alright, there's that dimension. Okay, now we go over the same dimension the other side. Nope, too far. Right there, 212. No, you dumbass. You missed it by an inch. 2 inches. 112. 115. Oh, 5-ish or so. That's close enough. And notice how the two holes look like they're pretty equal to each other now. So before you go in there too far, you can go ahead and measure it with our stick, wherever our stick ran off to. There it is right on top. So you go over and measure it. So put that right on the 1, and you can see right here we're right in the middle of that 2 area. And see you're right in the middle right over there. You read it. So, centerline dimension works really good because you only got to remember one number, your half number. You have to figure back and forth. Have a preset 0. So I like using centerline dimensioning. deep on that one. So that's going to be, where did my scale run off to? Keep losing my scale. So we're going to be over 5/16, and we were almost 3/8. Okay, I'm going to do the other side the same. So go back to 2 number. 2, 12/5. I'm going to spot this one a little bit deeper. There we go. So I'm right back to the same spot. There you go. I'm going to change out the bit. Drill a couple holes. We didn't need that, did we? It's over there somewhere. Definitely gummy. There's our 2 holes with gummy material. Get my drop center drill. Might need that there. Okay, get a nice and messy now. Get the big chips on the back side and to go bye-bye. So we're going to do something about that real quick. And my tool. Well, that's the tool that's missing. Keep forgetting that tool's missing. Use this tool. Just a round burr. Look really good for deburring holes. And they make them in different sizes. Alright, so there's our tool. I'm going to check to clean the drill bit out the hole there a little bit. Always run the drill through there just to make sure everything's cleaned out again. There we go. Take a fine file to take off any burrs that we might have left on there, because we didn't really deburr this before we did all this work. Probably wouldn't hurt if we did. Especially up here where they want to cut you. finished tool now. Okay. There she blows. Okay, now, I'm going to take our tool here. Stick on the back side. Put a couple Allen bolts in there. Pull it down. No problems, I don't have any Allen bolts right here. Let's go find a couple. So Jim has had a couple they brought over with us. Right here's one, two. Looks like the ones we need. Nope, too short. But you see how they go in there pretty good. They line up fairly close, but looks like they're still at an angle for some reason. That doesn't make sense why they're an angle. Obviously something cocked over there a little bit when I drilled it. It's a lot closer than it was. Okay, so we need some Allen bolts that are a lot longer than this. Okay, so that's going to hold that down right there, which will hold this steady. I'll see if this moves much when I torque this down. If it does, then we're going to have to go in here and cut these holes out to where I can use these holes like they're supposed to be used. And we just happen to have our angle table right there right now. The only problem is I can't hold it in that plane, so I'll have to do it differently. Alright, I'm going to get a couple Allens. I'll be back. Alright, we're back. So I don't like Allens, so I grab hex bolts. Got two different lengths. I got the short one. It's plenty long enough. And then I brought a long one too. So you can either have over 5/8 of a thread or you have about 3/8. So I think for the tool we got here, you're probably enough for the short one, but I'm going to probably torque this pretty good, so I think I'll put the long ones in there. Less chance of stripping out the original holes, which we definitely don't want to do. Okay, so the little fudge factor go one way or the other. It goes this direction, I think. It ain't moving anywhere. One thing I did not do, that I should have, because I'm being a dumbass. I need to reach up in here and square up the nut. So I want the nut to be flat-sided front to back. So it's just a matter of rotating this thing until it's flat. It doesn't want to be flat, it wants to be at an angle. You would think it'd want to be flat. Grab our screwdriver right here. Okay, it wants to be in that spot. So evidently it sits evenly, more even that way. That doesn't make sense. You'd think it'd be harder. There's flat front. I got tension on that. Alright, I'm going to leave it like that, I think. A little bit of torque on them, like maybe 10 foot-pounds. Okay. If I put a wrench in there, I can turn it and feel where it wants to be. See what it likes. It'll tell me real quick if it wants to be in a different spot than where it is. So I need to go grab me a wrench. I think that's probably a 5/8. And we'll see if it's in a happy spot. Yeah, 11/16. Big nut. It's a heavy wall nut. Bigger hex. That's where it wants to be. Doesn't have a ton of tension on it, but it's plenty adequate for what it's going to do. Yeah, it's not moving, so it's in a good tight spot. Alright, so there you go. One modified tool. Okay, I still need to go modify this tool because I haven't done that yet. So I'm going to go back and grind on that. We'll be back.